Are female restaurant staff selling dinner specials or sex appeal? Skimpy outfits, flashy jewelry, those are just some of the dress code requirements in some Canadian restaurant chains. Tonight, Marketplace takes a look at the wardrobe rules that female waitstaff call sexist and even dangerous. It's Chelsea Agro who does the investigating tonight, and she's here with me, and great to see you on this.
Good morning.
I remember when we did a story on this program, similar theme. We were overwhelmed with responses from women who wanted to relate, again, shared similar experiences with us. So you've spoken to women across the country, and I bet you've heard some wild stories.
We have, and again, Heather, another overwhelming response from women, like you say, coast to coast to coast. And so much of what we heard really had to do with what women are being asked to wear or what they feel like they need to wear to do the job of a waitress or a server. And over again, we heard things like a tight dress, a short skirt, revealing clothing. One woman wrote in and told us that she was even asked to wear a lacy piece of underwear to help hide the lines of her underwear under the tight dress. We also heard things from women that in some cases their restaurants have manuals that spell it out very clearly, right down to how you're supposed to wear your hair, back, all the way down, no pins, nothing off your face. Jewelry requirements, 3 to 5 pieces of jewelry, a wristwatch, your makeup. You must have a glamorous night feel, even if you're working during the day. One manual even went so far as to give women requirements depending on their body type, whether you were thin, sporty, or curvy. But take a listen to Allison. She worked at an Earl's restaurant in Winnipeg back in 2010. She talks about something that wasn't in the manual. It's called the fingertip rule.
So basically, your skirt, best length for your skirt would be fingertips, so about 6 inches above my knee, which was awful if you wanted to bend over, which is part of being a server. You drop things.
So we should point out that that manual has changed, and Earl's does say that yes, while they do require their female employees to wear skirts, they insist they don't have to be short. So
the fingertip rule, so you're talking about tight dresses. What about heels? That figures in some of this as well?
So that was something else we heard from so many women, Heather, requirements about their footwear. And again, very specific, detailed requirements. We heard from women telling us they were asked to wear anywhere from a 1-inch lift all the way up to 3-inch heels and beyond. And you can imagine if you're serving, you know you're on your feet all day long. If you've done it, I have. It's not easy work. Take a listen to what Allison says. She felt like she was forced to wear heels for hours on end, and she also feels like it may have contributed to her ongoing foot problems.
I have one foot that has a bone that's permanently out of place. I've got hip joint, like all sorts of problems in my back and my lower body that are all from wearing heels. They were trying to say it was trendy, but it was sexual.
So, I mean, that's a key point. I wear high heels every single day. I choose to wear it. I'm not forced to wear high heels. And these are the women who say they are forced to do this. Do they call this discriminatory, Chelsea?
Right. So Earl says when it comes to the heels that they do recommend that women wear a 1-inch lift, but some people choose to wear higher heels. When it comes to human rights violations, we spoke to Professor Joanne St. Louis. She teaches law at the University of Ottawa. She says the discrimination comes in because the clothing is sexualized. And the difference is that unlike a construction hat, which is part of a job requirement in order to work in construction, she says that's the difference here, that these dress code requirements, what they're being asked to wear, well, it's not a bona fide job requirement. Take a listen to Joanne St. Louis.
The male employees are doing exactly the same tasks as the female employees, and they are clearly hired, retained, promoted, and they do not need to sexualize their clothing. That's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line. We're going to meet these people in more depth a little bit later on tonight. One of the things that we like about Marketplace is the test that accompanies every episode. What's the test for this particular episode, Chelsea?
So we did 2 things here, Heather. One of the things that we did is I actually went in, hidden cameras rolling. I applied to 4 popular family dining restaurant chains. I asked some management staff about the dress code. You'll see what they had to say in the show tonight. It is pretty compelling stuff. I can also tell you that we wanted to hear what you think about restaurant dress codes. So we actually brought some photos in and showed you 2 different options, because part of what the restaurants say is that they're just giving customers what they want. They want this night out feel when you're eating out. So take a listen. We asked you, does it really matter what your server wears? Here's a sampling of what you had to say.
Tell me with your food, not with your weight stuff.
Like, to be very honest with you, I don't have a preference for either. It's like, if this woman is comfortable wearing that.
Do you think that what the waitress is wearing has any effect on how I feel?
Yeah, I'm more interested in the environment of the restaurant.
I prefer the short skirt versus the pants.
So we do want to know, Heather, what viewers have to say about this. We've actually created a restaurant comment card. So if you do want to weigh in, if you think there's something that crosses the line, we want to hear from you, and you can fill that comment card out at cbc.ca/marketplace.
You've posted this on Facebook as well, on the
We
Facebook
have.
page. 40 minutes ago, this went up on Facebook. I just heard in my ear from one of our producers, 220 responses already. You've touched a chord, and it's going to
Clearly.
be part of a national conversation today and tonight. Charles, thank you as always for coming in. The Marketplace investigation airs tonight on CBC Television at 8:30 in Newfoundland. And again, remember those comment cards. You can fill them out. Charles Lee was giving you the addresses, cbc.ca/marketplace.